Hi guys, welcome back. First of all, thank you guys so much for clicking on this video and still sticking with us through this journey. We're hoping to stay more consistent this year, and we have a lot of things coming up that we're hoping that you guys enjoy and you guys want to see. I'm excited, you know. Like I said in our last video, if you didn't watch it, last year was kind of tough. At least for me, you know, I definitely had my hard moments. And the boys were actually really busy. The beginning of last year, Chuck's actually got a new schedule for culinary, and with that, he was in school from like 10 in the morning to 10 at night. Diddy had just started a new job. Matt was grinding at work. It just became difficult to film. It was almost like when one person had an opportunity, other people didn't, and it was just so hard to get our schedules to match. Two, by the time things started picking up where we could have the opportunity to record, I feel like things kind of started going downhill for me. I definitely had my rough patches in the beginning of last year. But before we get into that, I wanted to share with you guys some of our great moments and some of the fun times that we had within the past, I would say since Thanksgiving, around the holidays, from Thanksgiving and from that point on till last weekend. Before I say anything, I'll just let you guys see those, and hopefully you enjoy that, and then we'll be back and I'll let you guys know what was going on with me. But for now, enjoy. Hey, hey, hey! Woo! Alright guys, you ready to cheers for the birthday boy? Woo! Cheers! Yeah.
Here's me, that's cool. I don't want to drink.
The 31.
That's new, Matt.
Oh.
Fluza.
Puta, you're called Puta. Oh, you're Winnie the Puta.
Wow, that one's good. That one's good. I was like, that one's good.
You have to put it back
Where's
in
the
the
ball go?
spot.
In the same spot?
Yeah, that's why.
I think you should put them away with the shot glass. Or look, I'm gonna put it here.
No, you have to put it in the same spot.
Oh, you see?
That's your girl checks. You're supposed to be on 30 sides.
You're so annoying.
Yeah, I won.
I got it
I
there.
had 7.
Because if it falls, it won't fall straight on the thing. It's gonna fall like on my phone. And it's gonna eat them right there.
You're gonna take a shot.
Squirt.
Fuck!
And you said my name.
Oh, babe, that's like 2. That's 2.
I suck at this fucking
Can
game.
you do zoom in with this?
No, that's all you can do. Yay.
You got it?
My name is Squirt. I would like to introduce myself.
Do you want to say happy birthday to anyone?
Yeah. So I just want to say happy birthday to Winnie the Pooh.
Hold on, let's put the Quiet Storm music.
I know. And that I love you, and I hope you have a good night.
Aww.
Good.
Thank you, baby.
Hey, you have to take a shot.
Ah, fuck.
Way to go, Winnie the Pooh.
I got this. I got it.
Squirty McFlirty knows what she's doing.
Wow.
Do you want it full or you want it
Let's get
that?
it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, take the whole thing because you said it again. I heard
He's a
you.
bartender now. You could work at
Memphis Street Pub.
EPTX.
Damn.
No.
You're gonna be cross muncher.
Oh.
And then for her, we can do.
Where's the marker? Oh,
See this pumpkin?
no. Oh, yes.
I'll like it.
There's pizza
Or
right
do you
there,
want to
too.
give her? Oh, thank you. Sprinkle tips. Yeah. Sprinkle tips. That one's fine.
Oh.
There.
But I double for your
Stop.
girls.
Come on, we need to put it. It's your birthday.
That's gonna be a new contact name.
We need to put all the fruta. it.
Alright, titty smiles.
Hey, 306, tool.
Chugo chow.
Pinching that one fire.
You guys want me to get you the glove?
Chuco Chuco, 915. Breaker City, Holmes.
Chug it, chug it, chug it, chug it, chug it.
Look funny, 21.
You gotta use the body.
Oh yeah, you're fucked.
Y'all better fucking recognize. Birthday King is on my baby.
Right there.
Birthday
Finally
bitch.
21.
Finally 21. Titty smalls. Titty smalls. Let's go. Oh shit. He's so tired.
Bonsai.
Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. Deep throat, deep throat.
Okay, super down. Okay.
Hey, Rock, she was like,
Hey, you didn't finish chugging it?
Okay, you flip her.
No, don't pop it.
with coke in the dairy air, I smoke in the thinnest air, I open the Lamborghini.
Alright, ready? Okay, wait, what's the cutest filter?
She's the one that puts me in.
Alright, ready? Ready? Get in the fucking mixer. Yes, ready? Why y'all holding hands like you can see the Ready? 1, 2, 3. Wait.
I said wait before you
What are you doing?
I said wait before
I already took it.
I said wait before No.
Hey, Matt, cancel? Matt, remember?
What I did, yes, I remember.
Okay.
My legs are hurting from.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
What the?
It's blurry. Get in here. Yeah, there we go.
Hey, get aside, dude.
Ready?
Hey, wait, let me take this for Chuck. He's gonna like it.
Oh my god. Alright, ready?
You got it for you.
1, 2, 3.
Finally! That was cute!
I like it.
Y'all see how long that
Let me see that picture.
took? Hold on.
Shit.
Are you happy?
You see?
Look at his face.
Whoa.
Everything's
Whoa.
cute.
We look good.
They look great.
So now that you guys got a little glimpse of some of our fun times, which they definitely were, I'm really happy for that and thankful. You know, like I said, for the holidays, we got to enjoy Thanksgiving, and then December tends to be a really busy month for Matt and I, at least. We go from everything from his birthday to our anniversary to family birthdays to my birthday, and then of course Christmas. December, actually, this past December was a really big birthday for Matt. He turned the big 3-0. So yeah, so that was a big one for him, and we threw him a little party, and it was a lot of fun, you know. Close friends were there and family, and we enjoyed ourselves, you know. I really tried to make it a memorable night for Matt. I think he really deserved that. I think 30's a big one, and it was a lot of fun. If you guys caught that, I included a few clips of what we had. We didn't vlog too much at that time, you know, we just kind of let him enjoy his night and took a few pictures here and there. Ironically, the day after his birthday is our anniversary, and this past year we celebrated 12 years together, so yeah. I laugh because I tell my friends when I say that we celebrate 12 years, it's not at all that I'm bragging, it's that, like, damn, we made 12 years together, like, that's crazy. We've definitely had our fair share of ups and downs, but we have a good relationship, and I'm thankful for that, you know. And I think every year that, you know, we gain another year, it's just, it's a major milestone, and it makes you look back at everything you've been through as a couple, and, you know, everything that we've made it through so far. So that was great. That was fun. We kept it simple. We just had dinner. We actually had dinner here. I think that's something that we enjoy is having time to ourselves and, you know, getting away from everything and everyone. But yeah, so then we had my birthday, and then that was good. And then for Christmas, I actually had some family fly into town, which we haven't seen in a long time. So that was a lot of fun. You guys got to see a glimpse of that in our New Year's vlog. So they ended up staying for Christmas and New Year's, and that was a fun time. And last weekend we got to celebrate Chuck's big 21. So that was a lot of fun. We had, like, again, small, close family and friends. You know, we just did little intimate things this year for our birthdays. It wasn't anything big, you know, but we still enjoyed ourselves, and we tried to make it count. You know, these are just memories that I'm thankful for, and I think that's something that I really enjoyed when we started YouTube, is that I wanted to have the opportunity for us to look back at these moments and be like, oh, I remember that time. I just think that's special. So I'm happy that you guys enjoy that, and I'm happy that you're watching now, and that you're still interested in seeing what's coming in the future, you know. To get to where I was last year, just to give you guys a little summary of what I was going through, it was fine, you know. The year started out fine, and then around March, things kind of went downhill. Not downhill, see, that sounds so dramatic. I don't want to say that. I just, you know, I had my rough patches. Towards the end of March, my dad had invited Matt and I somewhere to celebrate for a night out. So we ended up going and seeing him for some time, and at the time, your girl thought it would be cool to use this makeup palette that I had maybe from like 3 Christmases prior to that, so maybe like a 3-year-old palette. And yeah, that should already tell you, maybe not a good idea. But you know, I've had some things, I hate to admit, that are older than that, and I've used them and I'm fine, but since that was new, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna try it. So I ended up trying it. One of the biggest regrets that I had. Literally the next day, I woke up with swollen red eyes, and yeah, you're thinking, okay, pink eye. So no, it wasn't pink eye. From my research, you know, it's not a proper diagnosis, so I'm not gonna say it is, but from the symptoms that I had and the pain that I was feeling, I ended up Googling, and it said cancer. No, it said that I had something called surfer's eye. At least that's what I think it is, or was, but I don't know, who knows at this point. So basically my eyes turned bright red. I was in so much pain, and I think what kind of scared me the most was I ended up realizing that I had 2 bumps growing on, like on each side of my pupil, one here and then one here, and then like 2 days later the same thing happened to the other eye. So it was a lot. So that was painful. And then not only that, but come to find out that same day that I found out that I had that, I started my period. And that might be a little bit of TMI to you guys, but you know what? I think it's important to discuss this because as somebody that has rough periods, I have something known as endometriosis. And I think it's important to talk about these things, you know? Like, I know I'm not the only one out there, and if you guys have any experience or know what it feels like, I would love for you guys to comment down below and share with me what you guys go through every month too. Ladies, don't be afraid to talk about it, and guys, it's okay, deal with it, it happens. But yeah, I was hit with endometriosis that same day, and I feel like as I've gotten older, my periods have gotten worse. You can have anything from minimal to moderate to severe endometriosis, and everybody experiences different kinds of symptoms. Mine, like I said, have progressed as the years have gone by, and I think it's made it a little harder to deal with. You know, I'm somebody that handles pain really well, and it's painful. You can get everything from nausea, growing pains, stomach pains, back pains. It's a lot, and I want to do my own video in that because like I said, I think it's important to discuss those things and go into detail. But yeah, so I ended up getting that. A few days later, right after that happened, I started getting this excruciating pain, and I was trying to make sense of it because I'm like, okay, like I know I deal with this every month. Every month it feels like I'm dying, and I'm not trying to be dramatic. Like I said, I handle pain pretty well, and that it's painful. But this time it felt different, and I felt a little off, and I couldn't understand what was happening. I just knew I was in a different kind of pain, and I was trying to make sense of it, and I usually tough it out, you know. But as the day progressed, I think this was like I said, a few days later. I'm not sure. I'll probably look into that right now on my phone. But it was a few days later, and I ended up having one of the most scariest experiences of my life. Like, I don't wish that upon anybody. Not only was I in so much pain, I was so scared. I was by myself, so I don't think that helped. I mean, the thing too with me is in a sense, I would rather be by myself because I like to try and get myself together, because I'm headstrong, and I tell myself, like, you're gonna be okay, bitch. You're gonna get over it, okay? You're gonna survive. But this time it hit different. It hit different, and it turns out that I ended up having a kidney stone. I don't wish that upon anybody, you know, and I think at the time too, I was just frustrated because I was dealing with my eye situation, getting my period, my endometriosis, and then a few days later realizing that I had a kidney stone. And that in itself will be a story because, or a story time, because I'll relive that another day. But luckily I had my dogs here, and ironically that's when I figured one of my dogs, Roxy, would be a good service dog, because it was weird how she sensed my pain and she tried comforting me. It was strange. I mean, I feel like dogs are smart, you know, and people don't realize how smart they are and what they're capable of. And it's moments like those that you're like, damn, my dog was there for me. But yeah, so that happened. A few weeks later, luckily, like maybe 2 weeks after that, my eye started healing up. I'm somebody that tries to avoid going to the doctors or the emergency room in any way that I can. I try to work on things myself and do things naturally. Just to give you guys a little glimpse of that day, I wanted to pull up the messages, because it wasn't until earlier that I'm like, what happened? Like, what did I message Matt? Because in this whole instance that this was happening, I text Matt and I told him, I'm like, baby, I'm not feeling good. Like, something's going on. I'm not sure what it is, but I just want to let you know, because something's off. So after a few weeks of this, that comes and it goes. I realized that I had a kidney stone. I ended up dealing with an eczema flare-up. Now, my eczema is pretty moderate. I don't really have to worry about it too much. If you guys see me looking in the corner, I'm trying to make sure that the camera's alive, because I recorded earlier, because this was supposed to be a get ready with me, and my camera died. So here we are now. So a few weeks later, I had an eczema flare-up. I hadn't dealt with eczema really because it had subsided. I dealt with it since I was in middle school, and that's when it was bad. But throughout the years, you know, it went away. At the end of 2016, I ended up getting a flare-up on my face, and I'm like, what is this? And the more I looked into it, the more it looked like eczema. But I'm like, what? You can get eczema on your face? Like, that's crazy. And sure enough, I ended up looking into it, and yes, you can. You can get eczema on your face, and that's exactly what happened to me. At the time, it lasted for a month, and I did go try and see a doctor about it. Unfortunately, too, with eczema, it flares up and then it can also subside. Like I just said, it can come and it can go, and you can have triggers, and there's a substantial amount of triggers. You know, it varies from weather to diet to stress, just so many things, so many factors. I went to see a doctor, and unfortunately when I went to go see a doctor, my symptoms had subsided. So she basically told me there was nothing she could do for me, which kind of frustrated me, because like I said, eczema is something that you deal with for the rest of your life. It doesn't go away. You know, it comes and it goes, and it acts up when it wants to, and so on and so forth. So that ended up leaving. But a few weeks after this whole few incidents that I had, I experienced a minimal flare-up again, and I was like, great, like, I don't want to be dealing with this sucks. Fast forward to August, we actually had one of our cousins come into town, Vanessa. It was a really fun time. We got to show her around the city and what El Paso was like, and I believe it was a Friday. We decided to take her to Scenic Drive, because if you're from El Paso, you know Scenic is one of the spots to go to. You just have to go. It's such a beautiful view, especially at night, you know. So we showed her that, and I was telling her how El Paso's like a family-oriented city, and how people come to retire, and it's a close-knit community, you know, and it's a nice place to be, you know. Things are a little slower, but still, like I said, or we've said in the past, the city's growing, and there's so many opportunities that are being held, and you know, people are branching out and doing things for themselves, like meaning like making big moves, and I just, you know, it's home. El Paso's home. So she enjoyed that. I don't remember if she was planning to leave that next day or the following day, which was a Saturday or Sunday, but we anticipated seeing her again. Unfortunately, the next morning we were dealt with some news that I think a majority of us didn't want to believe. I kind of don't want to discuss the person because I'm not trying to give them any more limelight, or I'm not trying to talk about them. We woke up to that morning finding out that there had been a mass shooting in one of our local Walmarts. I think when we first gained this news, a bunch of us didn't really want to believe it. Not necessarily didn't want to believe it, but we couldn't believe it. You know, El Paso is known as one of the safest cities, and for something like that to happen here and then at a Walmart, it was unbelievable. And sadly, we ended up confirming that it was in fact true. There was a mass shooting, and I think panic grew over all of our hearts. I think that day we spent a majority of texting our loved ones and our friends and making sure that everybody was okay. And, you know, unfortunately for some people that wasn't the case. They didn't get a call or a text back or a response. And I think what hit us the most is with El Paso being such a tight-knit city and a family-oriented city. We all knew that our grandpas and our grandmas typically go to Walmarts in the mornings, and not only that, but it was around the beginning of the school year, so we knew that parents and their kids were going to go school supply shopping. So it was sad. It was a lot to take in, and sure enough, we lost a good amount of lives that we're never going to get back, and it was just a heartbreaking time for our city. It was so bittersweet because through that moment of devastation, like, I haven't seen our community unite like that. You know, I know that we are a great community, but it was so bittersweet. We joined forces and did what we could to raise money for those that lost loved ones, those that, you know, were struggling, and it was crazy. Our city did the best they could to rebuild itself, or pick up the broken pieces, you know, pick up our heartbroken pieces. It's hard to explain. But seeing everybody unite like that, it was amazing, you know. It really solidified the fact that El Paso's home and we got each other. Like, you know, it's funny, the one thing that I think rings to this day is that we got us, you know. It was such a sad event, and it was heartbreaking, and at the time too, that was the main focus. We were considering recording at the time prior to this happening, and when that happened, it was just devastating. Like, it didn't feel right to record. It didn't feel right. We were in the process of mourning. We were in the process of heartache, and it just didn't feel right doing that. It didn't feel right picking up a camera. We weren't in the best spirits to do that. I hope you guys can understand. I think if you live here, you know what it was. You know, I don't have to explain to you. You lived it. Our hearts go out to those people that lost somebody. It's sad. But we hope that they rest in peace, and we hope that one day we'll be able to move forward. And I don't know, it's hard. I personally still don't think I ever want to visit that Walmart. It's devastating. So we dealt with that. A few weeks later, my aunt had actually invited me to Washington to go hang out with her, and that was nice. You know, I owe it to her and my uncle. My cousin Vanessa actually ended up flying there as well, and we actually got to spend some real time together. You know, that was the first time I met when she came to El Paso, and we did get to hang out, but I feel like in the Washington trip, her and I got a lot closer. If you're watching this, Vanessa, I love you, girl. You know what it was. But we had a good time. I think it was a a little escape for a minute, you know. So it was good. It was a good time. I ended up flying back to El Paso, and in that instance, I just remember being on the plane and all of a sudden feeling my face irritated. And obviously I wasn't looking in a mirror, like I was flying home, and I think it was like a 6 to 8 hour flight. So my face grew substantially itchy, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, I didn't think too much of it, but I'm like, okay, like, why is my face so itchy? So I ended up landing, getting home, and once I got into the mirror, I saw that, sure enough, my face had erupted. I don't know if it was the traveling, I don't know if it was because of being in the air, the weather changed, because ironically when we went to Washington, I think because of the air was so humid, it allowed my face to breathe and I had moisture. So my face was good, you know, like even the little flare-ups that I had dealing with eczema, like it was gone. So on our way back, that completely changed. It just erupted on my face. So I got home and I'm like, great, like I'm dealing with this again, and now it seems to have gotten worse. So I'm usually not self-conscious, like I'm not worried about my face like that, you know, it's like, it's whatever. But over time, my face just erupted, and I ended up finding out that I was dealing with something called perioral dermatitis. Essentially, that's another form of eczema or rash on your face. It mainly goes around your nose and your mouth, and it can kind of look like acne, but it's not. You can tell that it's a rash, and it can become really red and painful, and I felt like I was doing everything to try and make it go away, and it just wasn't. And after like 3 or 4 months of it just continuously progressing to get worse, I started to feel defeated. You know, I feel like last year was a big year in regards to my health. I felt like every time I would get up from something or some issue, like I would be knocked right back down. And you know that saying, how it says, when it rains it pours. I felt like every time I would get the strength to pick myself up again, because I do think you're entitled to that. You know, we're entitled to our rough days. You have a rough one or 2 days, but for me, I'm like, okay, girl, like put your big girl panties on, like you're gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. You're gonna get better. Allow yourself to sulk. And now what are we gonna do to fix this? How are we gonna address this? So I felt like I kept doing that with my health concerns, you know. But at the same time, it was difficult because I was living a pretty healthy lifestyle, you know. I eat chicken and veggies, and I would eat yogurt. I eat clean, you know, and that's not to say that I don't indulge, because I definitely do, you know. A girl likes to eat some pizza and some tacos, and I like my tequila. But, you know, that's on very rare occasions. Okay, sorry guys, I just have to make sure that the camera's recording because I'm not trying to have it die on me again. But yeah, you know, I felt like every time I would get up, I'd get the rug pulled from underneath me, and I would pick myself up, but every single time it just got a little harder to get up again. And with me dealing with this whole issue with my perioral dermatitis, we were going on 4 months now, and nothing was helping. You know, I got on a stricter diet. I cut out coffee, I cut out alcohol, I cut out dairy, I changed my toiletries. That in itself will be a whole nother video, because I'll let you guys know, or those that suffer from that, how I dealt with it and how I managed it and how I was able to get to where I'm at right now, you know, because my skin's pretty good right now. No amount of makeup can cover that. It don't even bother, girl. Like, it just makes it look worse. It's not worth it. It ain't worth it, sis. Yeah, it got to a point where I just felt so defeated that I would cry at night. I would cry, and I was frustrated. I was frustrated because I was in a position where I'm like, dude, I'm doing everything that I can and nothing's working. And poor Matt, man, like, kudos to him, man. I love that man. He was really there for me, you know. He's like, I understand, baby. And then it's sad because to me, it was something on my face. And like I said, I'm not self-conscious, but when you... It's like when you got a pimple on your face and you're talking to somebody and you're like, don't look at my pimple. But you know that they are, or they're trying not to, but it's there, and you're like, you know? So yeah, it just made me extremely self-conscious. I got to a point where I was even embarrassed to look at Matt. Like I didn't even want to look at him. I'll include a picture of what it looks like so you guys get an idea. But if you guys want to see my process and what I went through, like I said, that'll be another video. Finally, around the end of December, or the end of November, early December, I started seeing a change. And this was after so much research that I did and looking into it, and I was finally able to find something for me that started working. Mind you, I was dealing with little glimpses of this since maybe June or July, and it was until the beginning of December that I started seeing a significant difference. So it was a few months of me dealing with this, and it just progressively got worse. Anyways, we're here now. So that's good. But yeah, that was hard. Fast forward to where we're at now, and what you guys got to see a little glimpse of in the beginning of this video. But now we're in January, the middle of January, and we have a few things that we're looking forward to. I'm excited, guys. I'm hoping for this new year to bring nothing but happiness and blessings, not only for us but to you guys. You know, I know for a lot of us, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people took a lot of L's last year for some reason. I feel like it was a bit hard for not only me but a lot of us. So I just hope that this year's good to you. I hope that you continue to strive to make any goals that you want to be fulfilled. You know, it takes work, dude. It does. It does. And I thank you guys for even coming and watching this video and giving us a chance to listen to us and catch up where we're at, you know. But thank you guys, you know. The boys too, Chucks is in a good place. He has some things that he wants to catch up with you guys and let you guys know on what's going on with him. Diddy and Matt too, you know, they're staying busy. It's gonna be a good year, guys, and we're looking forward to making content again and you guys keeping up with us, and hopefully you like it. And I mean, if there's anything you want to see from us or know, you know, feel free to comment down below. If you experienced any hardships or anything of what I discussed, you know, gave little glimpses, feel free to say or suggest or whatever, you know, comment anything you want. Like, I'm with you, you know. It's just know that we're all here for great things, and we're gonna do this. We're gonna make it a good year, and it's gonna happen. But until then, guys, I hope you look forward to what we have in store. Like I said, I'm really excited, and I think in our next video you guys are gonna really get a glimpse of what I'm talking about. But nothing but love, guys. Nothing but love. I hope you guys tune in to our next video. I hope that you like this video, and we love you. Okay, guys, thank you so much. See you next time, and bye.